Hey Moonies, I'm at Unplugged Expo with Barbara Radecki, aka Sailor Neptune. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you.
So what brings you to Unplugged Expo? I mean, there's a lot of Moonies here.
Well, actually, it's an interesting story that I can give you, that I was asked by James Bade, the organizer of Unplugged Expo, to appear at the 20th anniversary last year, but it ended up going into a message box that I never saw until it was too late.
Oh no.
And then I saw the message like months later, and I'm like, oh no, James, I'm so sorry, I missed this. I would have, loved to have been there, but I didn't see this. And he wrote me back and said, well, do you want to come to the next one? And I said, yes, I do. So this is actually my first Comic-Con type of...
Wow.
Yeah, so I've never actually done one of these before.
Not even back in the day?
Not even back in the day.
Well, I'm really glad you're here.
Yes, this is my first one.
Sailor Moon's been around about 20 years or so. Why do you think it's so popular?
That's such a good question. I think it's surprising, actually, how this one seems to have stayed in people's consciousness for so long. So I don't know why, except I think somebody who just spoke to me a few minutes ago was just mentioning that these women were really strong. The girl characters were really strong, and I think that probably has a lot to do with it. That people like to have good role models in a way. So,
that's true. And one thing I have to touch on is the relationship with Amar and Michelle. As a little girl, we kind of understood what was going on, but then we were confused because we're like, so they're kissing, but then there's this thing blocking their lips, but then they're cousins, so why are they kissing on the lips?
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it's something that we could have handled back in the day. And
I think so too.
How do you feel about the remake and the fact that we'll have this chance now to have it done properly?
Yeah. Well, obviously that was a big thing because we were told that the Japanese version, they were very open about the fact that this was a lesbian relationship, and but we had to do the fact that they were cousins because, to your point, I think they thought, well, people couldn't handle it, and I think they could have handled it, and I'm really happy that that can just be completely open now.
For sure. So do you have any favorite scenes that you did and any favorite fan moments?
Unfortunately, I've got a terrible memory, and it was 20 years ago or 21 years ago, and I can't remember specific scenes, so I can't say that. I just do remember loving the experience of I really sincerely mean that, the experience of voicing the part was fantastic.
So Barbara, what does Sailor Moon mean to you?
It means saving the world. Saving the world, changing the world.
One woman at a time.
One woman at a time. One obstacle at a time.
For sure. Well, you are the soldier of affinity, and we're very grateful for all you've done for us.
Aw, that's really sweet.
Thank you so much, Barbara.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
Take care, Moonies.